So it has been 14.5 million years since I last made a video, but these last few months of my life have been absolutely crazy. So please have mercy on my soul, because now I'm hopefully going to be back and make more videos for y'all on a regular basis. But today I bring forth my top 12 albums of the year party. I was going to do 13, but I couldn't decide on the last one, so let's get it started. Let's get it started. Number 12 on my list is Aaron Sprinkle, Water and Guns. Aaron Sprinkle, in case you don't know, is producer, musician extraordinaire. He has made so many amazing albums with so many different amazing artists, and so this year he came out with Water and Guns, which in my opinion is such a freaking good album. I would have put it higher on my list, but I only listened to it once prior to this review, so I'm only basing it off my first impression, so have mercy on me, okay? It's such a good album. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's rocky, poppy, electronic-y, so different, almost dubstep-y-ish sort of, in a couple songs. I highly, highly recommend it. It's such a good album. Number 11 is The 2020 Experience by Justin Timberlake, but I'm only doing part 1 because I have not listened to part 2. Ha 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 ha. Even though regular people listen to both parts of the album, I only listened to the first one. So, part 1 of The 2020 Experience by Justin Timberlake is the one that we've all heard, but I personally love it. I have the clean version thanks to my friend Michael. Thanks, Michael. And so I personally could have gone without the language and the songs, but otherwise such a musically impressive album. JT has flawless vocals and such a good album. I highly recommend it. Number 10 is the City Harmonic, Heart. Heart is the newest release by the City Harmonic. The City Harmonic is a Canadian worship band, and now they're in America making albums for the Americans. So I'm American and I absolutely adore the album. I love the City Harmonic. They're such a different, cool, new worship band, and I highly recommend Heart. It's such a cool release, and just get it because duh. Number 9 is Run by Santus Real. I love Santus Real. I've seen them live a few times, and their lyrics always kick me right in the feels. So I was so looking forward to Run. Run is such a good album. Personally, it's probably not my very favorite of their albums, but it's such a good album nonetheless. I highly recommend it. Lyrically, so good. Their lyrics always blow me away. So number 8 is The Digital Age, Evening Morning. So in case you didn't know, David Crowder Band broke up. Yeah, I cried. Okay, so David Crowder is now his own artist, and The Digital Age is 4 of the previous members of David Crowder Band, and they formed The Digital Age and made Evening Morning. Evening Morning is by far one of my new favorite worship albums of all time. It is so good, very, very unique. It's electronic-y and poppy, and it's got an awesome feel and vibe to the whole album, and the lyrics are so good. I was really impressed by the lyrics, so I highly recommend Evening Morning by The Digital Age. Number 7 on my list is Paramore by Paramore. This is the year of the self-titled album, because there are more than one self-titled albums on my list, and that never happens. So Paramore is in case you didn't know, an amazing rock band, and they're awesome. Led by the amazing Hayley Williams, with Taylor York and Jeremy, what's his face? I'm sorry, Paramore fans, please don't hate me. I know his last name, I just can't think of it. So Taylor, Jeremy, and Hayley are Paramore. Used to have the Farrah brothers, but we won't get into all that because I don't have time for that. Ha ha ha. Read my Paramore the album by Paramore the band is an absolutely amazing album. I never really listened to Paramore a whole lot prior to this release, but I so got into them with this release. Very rocky and fun, and has a great vibe the whole album through. Still Into You is my jam, so I highly recommend Paramore by Paramore. Number 6 is Troubled Days by Seabird. If you know me at all, you know Seabird is one of my favorite bands. I discovered them at a festival like 4 years ago, and they have been one of my favorite bands since. All of their albums are so amazing, but Troubled Days is so good. It's got a really cool feel to it. They actually made a Kickstarter to fund this album, and they raised over their goal, and I funded it because I love them. Hallelujah. Seabird. So I highly recommend Trouble Days. I think you can get it on iTunes. I'll link all these albums in the description for iTunes and stuff if you want to give them a listen. So number 5, top 5. Number 5 is The Civil Wars by The Civil Wars. So I told you it was the year of the self-titled album. So Civil Wars are an amazing country, folky, rad, indie-ish, sort of kind of more folky-ish band made up of Joy Williams and John White, what's his face, because I can't remember his last name because I can't remember names today. They formed the Civil Wars a couple years ago and made Barton Hollow, which was such a good album, and the Civil Wars, in my opinion, is even better. It is so good. Like, even if you don't listen to country or folk, you so need to listen to this album because the lyrics are just so good. You need to listen. Girl, you need to get with the program. Yeah, I have problems. Number 4 is Currents by Eisley. Eisley is one of my favorite bands. They are made up of 4 siblings and their cousins, so it's all family band. Lead vocals switch back and forth from Stacy and Sherry, who are sisters, and they harmonize with each other, and it's really awesome. And Currents, personally, is probably my favorite album of theirs that I've heard so far. It is such an awesome release. They made it in their own studio with just kind of their own rules, which I think really did an amazing thing for the band. And so I highly recommend Currents. It's just so good. So go check. Number 3 is A Messenger by Colton Dixon. I can't even with Colton Dixon. In case you didn't know, Colton Dixon was on American Idol, and a few years ago, I'm not sure what year it was. All the years run together with me. He was on the year Philip Phillips won, okay? Okay, so Colton did not win American Idol. Philip Phillips obviously won, but he came in 6th or 7th place, I think. I'm not sure if I said that already. But he got signed to Sparrow Records and made A Messenger, which personally is one of my favorite albums of all time. It's so freaking good. The lyrics are top-notch. Colton's vocals are amazing. You really get to see the range in his vocals throughout the album, and I really, really highly recommend it. Okay, so number 2 on my list. My list is blowing away. What's number 2? Oh, yeah. Okay, so number 2 on my list is Hillsong United, Zion. Zion is such a good album. It is probably my favorite worship album, and that's a very bold thing to say, but I can't think of one that I like better. In case you didn't know, Hillsong United is from the great country of Australia, in which I wish I lived, and they released their newest album, and it's called Zion. Very different than all their other releases, very electronic-y, but still very true to them musically. But not only that, but the lyrics are honestly, like, flawless. Like, there is not one song I do not absolutely love. I highly recommend it. And now, the moment we have all been waiting for. Number 1 album of 2013 for me is Fiction Family Reunion by Fiction Family. I'm biased. I'm just going to be honest. I love Fiction Family. Fiction Family is made up of John Foreman and Sean Watkins. John Foreman, Switchfoot, Sean Watkins, Nickel Creek. They became Fiction Family with 2 other guys. I know their names, but I don't want to say them because I'm not sure if they're correct because I can't remember names. So they came together and made Fiction Family Reunion. They had a self-titled release a few years ago, and they came back together to make Fiction Family Reunion, and it came out January of this year, and so freaking good. I love every song. John and Sean switch back and forth from lead vocals and the writing process and stuff. So yeah, such a good album. I listened to it non-stop for like the first 6 months of the year. So I highly recommend it. And that is all I got for my albums of the year. There were so many amazing albums this year. I just didn't have time to talk about them all. There was Lord, there was 21 Pilots. I mean, there were so many good albums. But I'm only one human, so I only have time to talk about so much. Comment below your favorite albums of 2013. You can name a couple, you can name a million, I don't care. Just, I want to listen to what y'all listened to this year. So let me know what your favorite albums were in the comments. Like this video if you thought it was cool and I didn't ramble as much as usual, which is not true because I rambled a lot today. Okay, so I will catch y'all later. Bye!